You know what Street Fighter is? It's a fighting game. A fucking brilliant fighting game. It's such a good fighting game that even Street Fighter's fucking sequels have sequels. It's such a popular fighting game that people now fight each other in Street Fighter, and it's considered an e-sport. And these guys, I guess, are e-athletes because they fight each other in Street Fighter, even though it's just a fucking fighting game about people fucking fighting each other. Street Fighter is a fun fucking fighting game for fucking fighting game fans. You know what Street Fighter isn't? Based off of a fucking movie primarily dealing with the themes of male identity and their dependency on consumerism. Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club shouldn't have been not to talk about it. It should have been you do not make a fucking game about Fight Club. It boggles my mind. This has got to be one of the worst ideas for a video game I've ever heard. I mean, it takes a serious lack of a fuck to do some of the shit that Fight Club the game does. First of all, the characters. Now, you know, obviously in a fighting game, one of the main appeals is its character roster. And boy oh boy are we spoiled for choice here. First of all, they couldn't get the rights to use Brad Pitt, Edward Norton and Jared Leto's image, so we're stuck with lookalikes. 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 And Edward Norton is called Jack even though he's never actually given a name in the movie, which is done intentionally to explore the theme of identity, but here it's just like, yeah, fuck it, let's just call him Jack, you know, because sometimes in the movie he says things about a Jack, so he's Jack, call him Jack. Then there's Bob, who's supposed to be Meatloaf, who again I thought was a really bad lookalike, but then they actually got the rights to use his appearance in the game. Really? Really? You have Angel Face and a bunch of other minor characters from the movie until the game gets desperate and just pops in Lou. Yeah, Lou, as in Lou who came down to try and stop the Fight Club in the movie. Yeah, he's in the game. He's actually in Fight Club in the game because fuck you. And Raymond, the store clerk that Tyler threatens at gunpoint to go back to college or he'll kill him. He's in Fight Club. Yeah, why not? And Detective Stern, he's in Fight Club. What? And if you're wondering who the unlockable characters are, there's the barman with the wireframe, Edward Norton's boss, Abraham Lincoln, and Fred Durst. Why Abe Lincoln? I'm guessing because in the movie there's a throwaway line where Tyler said he'd like to fight him, so it's a fun little reference, I guess. But Fred Durst? Fred Durst? Oh, I wonder whose idea that was. Just because there happens to be a Limp Bizkit song in the game. Stop trying to make people think you're tough, Fred. You're 45 and you're still wearing baseball caps backwards, you dick. The game plays like a shit Tekken. There's not much else to describe it. It just feels like a copycat clone of better fighting games. And I'd be happy to dismiss its blandness if not for one simple thing. Fighting games require diversity in both their characters and their movesets. Tekken has fucking bears for God's sake. Fight Club as a premise is about a bunch of men who aren't even fighters. Yeah, how will that translate? So the developers in their infinite wisdom just decided to forget that aspect of the movie and now suddenly every character has one of 3 fighting styles. Brawler, Grappler and Martial Arts. And that's the complexity of their fighting system. There's only 3 different movesets in the whole game. How fun. And hey, can anyone guess what moveset Raymond the Asian shop clerk is gonna use? I wonder which one. Which one will Raymond the Asian store clerk adapt? This fucking thing is terrible. I mean, half the fun of fighting games is trying out every character because generally every one of them are unique and the fun is about finding which character suits your playstyle. Except for this one, because it's 1 of 3. Here, take your pick, dickhead. So, the game opens up with a scene from the Operation Mayhem subplot, hinting that this half-baked fighting game is going to try follow the story of the movie, which is so laughable that I was honestly giddy with excitement looking forward to the shit show that was about to follow. We're then treated to the lookalike Tyler Durden welcoming us to Fight Club.
The first rule of Fight Club is, you don't talk about Fight Club.
This is Tyler Durden, more like Tyler Turden. Oh, fuck off.
I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
I wish I could. The story opens up with a cinematic of our main character entering the Fight Club. And honestly, the effort that they put into the cutscenes are pretty impressive, and it does kind of capture the feel of the Fight Club in the movie. You know, except for the stupid stylizing X-ray thing that they do, but the atmosphere is kinda there. Wait, what the fuck? Did I just pay this game a compliment? They do kinda miss the point with the dialogue though.
Hey, I'm looking for Tyler.
Fucking virgin.
Nobody in Fight Club talks like that to anybody. In Fight Club the movie, everyone is respectful towards one another, which serves as the obvious contrast against the horrific violence that they participate in. In reality, they're all just normal dudes, and not Neanderthalic cavemen. I mean, what is this guy?
Rule 8, first night here, you gotta fight.
Then we're thrown into our first fight against Ricky, and it's, I win and my character says something, but makes no sound. Wait, what? I don't understand. Why didn't he say anything?
Jesus, you okay?
Now,
Fine.
what's happening? Is there a glitch? Why is it just pictures? Oh god, it's actually meant to look like this, isn't it? Oh sweet fucking Jesus. Are you serious right now? Pictures? They're telling their story by way of a fucking slideshow? Are they insane? What the fuck? This isn't a Nintendo, it's a PlayStation 2. Why? I mean, why? And you can't even make anything out. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Rule number 4! Only 2 guys to a fight.
How did my character know that? It's his first time at a fight club. How does he know the rules? This doesn't make any sense. Fucking hell, I have never in my life seen a game take such a running leap off of a cliff before. This is impressive. So next I have to fight Irvin, and upon beating him he tells me I can find Tyler on Paper Street.
I came to be a part of something.
You won't be a part of something, you get to Paper Street. Tyler does his business there.
Now, why the fuck I have to beat him in a fight to learn of Tyler's location is beyond me. Since when do you have to be a good fighter to be a member of Fight Club? That's not the point of the movie.
Now buy me a goddamn beer.
Fuck you, Dick. You attacked me outside the bar. We're not even in Fight Club anymore. And it's freezing out here. It's raining and I'm not wearing any clothes apart from my jeans. But why aren't they wearing clothes? Why did they walk outside into the rain without any clothes? And now we're at Tyler Durden's house on Paper Street, where they have a fight club carefully hidden in the front garden. Well, geez, I hope none of the neighbours call the cops. Idiots. You know, in the film, Tyler's house was a base. It wasn't actually used as a fight club, because if I were planning a terrorist operation that involved blowing up several skyscrapers, I really don't think that I'd have a group of shirtless yobs fighting outside in the garden. It might just attract some unwarranted attention, don't you think? But the game's just like, you know, whatever. And Jesus Christ, look at that head. He's got a head like a fucking orange. So Edward Norton, yes, that's supposed to be Edward Norton, has a fight with Marla, Helena Bonham Carter from the movie. See, you can tell they're fighting because the slideshow shows pictures of her throwing a cigarette at him. Wow, I'm really invested into this story. So Edward Norton pushes our lead character, who then bumps into Bob, who says he just has to have a fight to get accepted.
These guys are not gonna trust you until you fight.
While meanwhile Meatloaf stands behind a microphone wondering what the fuck he's doing with his life. Then our character makes fun of Bob's tits.
Cancer gives you those.
The drugs did.
Because the game thinks that Bob has tits for the sole purpose of being funny, whereas in the movie it's a thematic device to tell a story about male identity. Do you see how this game is terrible yet? So now you're fighting Bob. And all I've got to say is look at that fucking dog. What is up with that dog? So after you win, Bob tells you that Tyler will be very impressed when he gets back from Seattle.
Tyler, I want to meet you when he gets back from Seattle with the shipment.
It's at this point the game is officially fucked. Like, seriously, the game has literally just tripped over its own source material to the point where it can't even make sense of Tyler Durden nor the story itself. If you haven't seen Fight Club, there's a pretty cool twist where we find out that Edward Norton and Brad Pitt are actually the same person, and everything Edward Norton sees Tyler do is actually being done by him. And while Edward Norton's character doesn't know this, everybody around him knows that Edward Norton is Tyler Durden.
It's under control, sir.
We're just not told because the story is told from the point of view of Edward Norton. Hence why it's a twist, because when he finds out, the audience finds out.
Did you just call me? Say my name.
Tyler Durden. Tyler Durden, you fucking freak. What's going on?
Eventually he realizes that all this time, everything he's seen Tyler do, it was really him. Like here, when he's announcing the rules of Fight Club. There he is, Tyler Durden. Everyone in that room knows he's Tyler Durden. So when this stupid fucking game shows Edward Norton's character come out of the house shouting in front of everybody, and then Bob says,
You're a great fighter, Tyler will want to meet you when he gets back from Seattle with the shipment.
That makes no fucking sense. Tyler Durden is probably still standing on the porch behind you, numpties. Do you want to see how this game reveals the twist though? Because it's genuinely one of the most confusing cutscenes I've ever seen in my life.
Tyler's fucking nuts.
Shut the fuck up, you little fucking pansy.
Tyler's the only sane person on the planet.
Yeah. I was there when we made that shit up. Me and Tyler. Tyler and me. Don't you see it? Don't you go telling. Don't you say it. I'll tell anyone I goddamn want to. He doesn't know. He has no idea.
I don't know who's talking when, who's looking at how, who is standing where. I mean, it's a fucking mess.
One, take it. I'll do it. I will do it. He's too chicken shit.
The entire game is a fucking mess. The only thing we ever find out about our horribly boring main character is that his woman ran off with another woman.
The bitch actually ran off with another woman.
Women. Can't live with them? Pass the beer nuts.
And so then he was going to kill himself until the barman takes the gun from him and tells him to join the fight club.
Go to Lou's bar on Saturday night. Ask for Tyler Durden.
And that's his story? That's our protagonist? Like, what? And we're given no reason, the entire game, why he's actually trying to find Tyler Durden. Because that's all he wants to do, for no reason.
I'm looking for Tyler. A guy in a bar. He mentioned Tyler Durden. I'm looking for Tyler Durden. I'm looking for Tyler Durden. I'm looking for Tyler. I was told Tyler wanted to meet me. I want to meet Tyler. I've been too busy trying to find Tyler Durden. We're doing it for Tyler Durden.
And aside from all of that, aside from the fact that our character doesn't have a goal, that we fight Raymond the store clerk on an airport runway, that one of the main character's few objectives that we actually get is to break some guy who we've never heard of's arm.
That's Tyler's code. Broken deal, broken arm.
That we have this lazy, nonsensical rivalry with Angelface, who in the game is now some jealous, whiny brat.
Fuck that! I'm the boss around here!
Aside from all of that, the biggest puzzler in this game is that nobody wears any shoes. I mean, seriously, no one wears shoes! In the garden of the house, nobody's wearing shoes. When they're working on a shipping container, no one's wearing shoes. In the street, nobody's wearing shoes. When you pick the fight with the guy at the restaurant, they both take off their shoes. In fact, the only time in the entire game when a character shouldn't be wearing shoes, he's got them on. We find Angelface in the basement and it's flooded up past his ankles. Why wouldn't you take off your shoes? And everywhere we go, be it a street, a posh restaurant, even at the airport, our pitiful excuse of a main character travels everywhere with no shoes. Anyway, let's just get to the end of this fucking thing. So clearly the opening and ending cutscene for the game were outsourced, because in the ending cutscene, this is our character. What? I mean, who? What? They actually recreate the scene pretty closely, and Edward Norton's character model even looks pretty on point considering that they couldn't get the rights to his image. Again, nothing like the in-game character model, which just goes to show how much of a clusterfuck this thing was from the beginning. It also makes absolutely no sense why he's suddenly in his boxer shorts. Like, literally 30 seconds ago, he's fully clothed. Like, I know in the movie it makes sense, but here, like, he's just wearing boxer shorts. Out of nowhere. The game's just like, oh, fuck it, whatever. He is wearing shoes, though. The game devs also, for some reason, put the Brad Pitt sound-alike voicing Edward Norton.
You know what this is? Good. If for some reason the detonation fails, this is the fail-safe.
Why? Then the guards hear a gunshot and Tyler Durden is back to normal. Marla appears, and then our main character goes downstairs, where the game manages to take one final last shit on one of the best movie endings of all time.
There's no fucking snooze bar on this wake-up call.
This game just cut my hair with its edginess. In all seriousness, this game just reeks of being unfinished. The slideshow cutscenes alone are frankly just an embarrassment and make it seem like the game just simply ran out of money before it could be properly finished. This is especially apparent in one of the unlockable behind the scenes videos that actually shows animated cutscenes of Brad Pitt's character model. There's a video of the actor who plays Detective Stern, and he's talking about how excited he is to be in the game and how his character in the game has more dialogue than he did in the movie.
Actually, it was somewhat better in the game because I had more dialogue and there was more character character then.
They even show some footage of him sat at a restaurant booth talking to another character. I mean, what the fuck happened? Part of me thinks that Fight Club the game didn't even start off as a fighting game, but was meant as a third-person adventure or something. It'd make more sense. I mean, what kind of fighting game would give a minor character like Detective Stern a lot of dialogue? Maybe it was publisher interference, or maybe they literally just ran out of money and rushed the release, but either way, the game is a piece of shit.